how to get out of a slump, how to put yourself back in momentum, or how to put yourself into momentum. Today is going to be kind of a topic that I got a lot of private messages about, and that is, Anthony, what do I do if I'm stuck? You know, I've been doing my business. Maybe you have a full-time job and you come home at night and you do your business. On the weekends, you do your business. Maybe you're even full-time now at your affiliate or network marketing. You feel like you've been working all day, every day, and you're not getting enough results, and or you're not able to increase your top line revenue / volume. So that's what we're going to talk today. I got to be very honest with all of you guys. One of the number reasons why people do not capture momentum or further momentum or actually get out of a slump is they've never really sat down and done a business plan. So you got to know exactly what are the numbers that you need to be doing every single day, every single week, every single month. Because if you don't even know where you're going, you're just going to be like a boat. You know, like if you get a little rowboat and you have 2 oars, what happens if you have 1 oar? Don't you go in circles? You know, you take the oar, and if you were to row the boat, wouldn't you go in circles? Of course you would. But if you had 2 oars and you went like this, your boat would move forward, right? And of course it would move faster based on how aggressively you rowed the boat. Now, that being said, I will tell you something that I've noticed traveling the world and sitting down and doing one-on-ones with people for the last 2 decades plus. I'm going to say this and be very blunt with you. 90 to 95% of people that I meet with really think they're doing the business. So most people have what's called a hobby mindset. You've got this business thought process. You've got this big declaration that you throw out there on social, to your friends, to yourself. Maybe you even do personal development every day and you are a walking affirmation, right? But then when you sit down and go through your business, you don't have presentations, you don't have leads coming in, you really are like hit and miss. So you've got these big dreams and you have this commitment, but then when you put 2 and 2 together, the actual numbers, you don't have enough numbers going on to actually really have a business. You're just going to have a hobby until you really put down and put forth business numbers. And I'll share with you what that means. You know, when I first got started many, many years ago, my mentor sat me down and said, listen, AP, you need 30 presentations a month, period. Full-time job or no-time job, doesn't matter. You need a minimum of 30 presentations if you want this. And if you want to really hit your goal, then you need to get yourself up to 50 full presentations every single month. And I looked at him and I said, how am I going to do that? He said, well, now what we got to do is focus on your invitations. So that's advertising. Whether back when I started, I had no money, right? So I had to do car flyers. Guys, I used to do 2,000 car flyers a day, 7 days a week. When other people were complaining and bitching about how they can't do it, or they have something else coming up, or they make excuses. So guys, listen, Anthony was out doing 2,000 car flyers a day. You know what that did? 2 things for me. One, it put me out doing something, right? And I got good, and I also found out what to do and what not to do with flyers. There's a way to do flyers and a way not to do flyers. But it also put me out there to talk to 20 people a day. See, when I'm putting flyers out, I made a habit of handing 20 people my flyer every single day. And it gave me an opportunity to do a pitch, right? An invitation to my presentation. You see what I'm saying? So the flyers, I put my website and my 800 number on my flyer, and I had people calling in and logging onto my website. But then I also did flyers, and it gave me an opportunity to get over talking to people just point blank cold, right? And I was freaked out when I first started doing it. So when I was doing my flyers, I had Jim Rohn in my ears talking about rich people do what poor people won't. I also did, you know, guys, you got to remember, when I started, we didn't have Facebook. Hate to tell you. But we only had like ads in newspapers, car flyers. I did signs on the side of the road. You know, those little pull tabs in like Starbucks where somebody pulls off your phone number and there's the ad. I did all that stuff. I went into apartment complexes where the mailboxes were. I put 100 pull tabs up a night, 2,000 car flyers a day, and about 100 signs on the side of the road. I did whatever it took. See, the pain of being broke was so great. Whatever I had to do to get out of that deal and get money rolling in, and more importantly, become a 6-figure earner, and then it took me a while to get to $500,000, then $1 million a year plus, you got to do what everybody else is not willing to do. That's why only 1% or 0.5% of the world has the money. See, everyone else was laughing at me. So when I want to bring this back to you, if you're in a slump, now we got Facebook. There's no excuse now. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we've got Pinterest is now coming on strong, LinkedIn. You just got to do some testing on your ads and you'll have as many leads as you possibly can get. So what you need to do is find out what numbers you need to have. How many invitations to your presentation do you need? And then how many presentations do you need to do to get yourself a full sign up as a customer and or a distributor, right? Or someone for your product. That's a basic formula that you need to understand. Now, I knew exactly after about 90 days, what you do is you have to log everything. Keep track of your everything daily. How many things you put out in advertising. Because you got to figure out how much advertising do you need to put out in order to get a lead, right? How many leads do you need to actually talk to in order to get a presentation? How many presentations do you need to talk to in order to get a new customer or new distributor or whatever you do in a business, right? Once you have those ratios, now you're in control of how fast or slow that you actually can go. So if you're in a slump, you're only in a slump because you probably are not treating it like a business and or you're being lazy, right? And listen, we're all human. I've been there. I've lied to myself and said tomorrow. I've procrastinated. I put things off. I didn't do things when I was supposed to do them. And all that stuff's human behavior, right? But the great thing about a behavior is it can change. So if you really want this, you want to fire your boss, you want to build momentum, what you need to understand is the first thing is you got to sit down and understand what you are really doing as opposed to what's actually, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to what you need to do. We're going to get you out of that hobby mode into the business mode so you know what to do. Focus on really understanding what kind of numbers you need to do. Now, if you go, man, AP, I don't know where to start and what to do, then what you need to do is go get yourself a mentor in the same industry that you are in or the same type of company that you're in and ask the numbers. For me, I can tell you what I had to do. I had to do 50 presentations a month. What that did is it gave me 15 brand new distributors a month. Okay, I talked to 50 people with a full company presentation. Out of 50 people, I got 15 signed up, and then that gave me an opportunity to launch the business. Out of 50, now I didn't sign up 25 and 30 and 40 out of 50, I signed up 15, okay? Sometimes I got 18, 19, 20, okay? But my consistency was 15 out of 50, all right? When I was doing 30, I was getting about 10. So what was going on is my numbers got better and better as I went on because guess what? When you're new, you're going through the movements, maybe you're not following the script right. Maybe you're not saying what you've got to say with authority. And the bottom line is repetition creates skill set. You do something over and over and over again, you get good. And this is another thing I want to share with you. If you're not doing enough numbers, right? And let's say it takes you 6 months of numbers that you're currently doing to do what you should be doing in 1 month, sometimes that can play tricks on your mind because you think you're not growing fast enough. But when you really sit down and say, whoa, I'm doing a hobby, I'm not really doing a business, then you do your hobby numbers in 6 months, so you should be doing it 1 month. You might be actually doing good, but you just think in your brain you're not doing good because you're not doing enough of it. Okay, so don't beat yourself up. If you want to go faster and you want to do all this stuff, listen, you've got to sit down, do a monthly business counseling. Long story short, guess what it is? It's a profit and loss. It's a business statement. You got to sit down and get it on paper. And then every month, you've got to go out there and you got to make it happen. Sit down with yourself at the end of the month and really understand what you did great and where you got to do better. Now, let me share something with you. Back in the 60s, I wasn't alive then. But if you ever studied, I know in college we studied about the man that went to the moon, right? NASA went to the moon. Do you think they just all of a sudden just threw a rocket up to the moon? No. They had to do 10 years worth of trial and error. And every time they attempted, they logged the information. So every time they tried, they were able to get that much more information to figure out exactly how to get that rocket up to the moon. That's the same as your business. How many invitations, how many presentations to get a sign up? Once you understand that, you're in control, guys. But what you can't do is expect just to go through the movements all day long and think you're doing something and then you don't really know what you're doing and you're hitting your head against the wall and you're getting discouraged. So yes, you got to do personal development. Yes, you got to make declarations with yourself. Yes, you're going to go through ups and downs. It's part of the deal. But if you don't do your numbers and if you don't know what you're supposed to do, then you're going to have something that you're going to always be one of these people that starts and stops everything you do. 10, 15 years is going to go by. You're still going to have the entrepreneur drive, but you're not going to really have the know-how and the skill set because you're a start and stopper. Okay? So a couple things I would suggest you do. Number one, let me help you. I'll throw a ton of free stuff out to you so you can get constant messages from me. Listen, I know what to do in this industry. I don't know how to be, I'm not a plumber. I can't fix cars and do all that stuff, but I know how to do affiliate. I know how to do network marketing better than most. I even got some other courses out there you can take that are dirt cheap. Go for it, guys. Get your education. I made millions on webinars. Okay, webinars. So I have an incredible webinar course to educate you. Take the first hour and a half free and write notes. But right now, what you need to do is go out there, sit down, do a monthly business counseling, look at what you're actually doing versus what you need to do. And then once you figure it out, it may take you a week to find people to help you put the numbers down. Once you figure it out, don't stop. Because if you stop, you're going to lose momentum. If you stop, you're not going to get a skill set. All right? Private message me, Anthony V. Powell on Facebook. That's my fan page. My personal page is The Anthony Powell. You can still follow me there, even though I have over 5,000 friends. You can go to Twitter and Instagram, and that is Anthony Powell #1. These are the things that help me get through all my little lulls and ups and downs. One more thing I want to share you. Once you get momentum, do not stop. You deserve to win. Let's go make it happen.